What would happen if I told you that the 2026 Formula One season just revealed the biggest plot twist in modern motorsport history? Christian Horner, yes, that Christian Horner, just dropped an absolute bombshell about Oscar Piastri that could completely reshape the battle for the 2026 championship. But here's the real question burning through the F1 world right now. Who is really better, Lando Norris or Oscar Piastri? Drop your opinion in the comments now, because what I'm about to reveal is going to make you question everything you thought you knew. Listen up, folks. 2025 was supposed to be Oscar Piastri's breakout year. The Australian phenom started the season like an absolute beast. Consistency? Check. Speed? Unmatched. He was putting the entire grid on notice. And then the Dutch Grand Prix happened, the race that changed everything. Piastri didn't just win Zandvoort, he dominated. And when Lando Norris suffered that heartbreaking DNF, Oscar found himself leading the championship with a massive 34-point advantage. The F1 world collectively gasped. The headlines screamed, "Piastri is the favorite." The hype was real. The championship was his to lose. But then, disaster struck. What came next was one of the most brutal collapses we've seen in recent F1 history. In the final 9 races, the most critical stretch of the season, Piastri managed just 99 points. Meanwhile, Lando, he went absolutely nuclear with 148 points in that same span. The championship lead evaporated. The dream crumbled. And when the checkered flag fell in Abu Dhabi, Lando Norris was crowned world champion by a breathtaking margin of just 2 points over Max Verstappen. Piastri? He wasn't even in the final fight for the trophy. If you guys are as shocked by this story as I am, do me a favor, smash that like button right now. We're bringing you the most exclusive F1 intel on YouTube, and your support means we can keep delivering these bombs. Now, let's get to what Horner really said about all of this. Here's where it gets juicy. Christian Horner just appeared on Australian television and said something that should have every F1 fan paying attention. Listen to this. Oscar will have learned an enormous amount from last year. I thought he was the huge favorite going into the summer break, and unfortunately, it all kind of fell apart for him at the end of the season. But then Horner dropped this line. That will have hurt him, and ultimately, it's going to motivate him. Do you guys understand what's happening here? The former Red Bull team principal, the man who orchestrated multiple championship victories, is essentially saying that Piastri is about to come back hungrier, stronger, and more dangerous than ever. Horner even pointed out something crucial. People forget he's only done a few seasons in Formula One. He's relatively inexperienced, and I think he's going to get better and better. He'll be fully motivated for next season. This isn't just analysis, folks. This is a warning to the entire grid. But wait, there's more to this story. Because while everyone's focused on the psychological battle between Piastri and Norris, there's a massive technical revolution happening in F1 right now that could completely change the game. The sport just introduced a brand new power unit era. And here's where it gets fascinating. Mercedes, as a factory team, has been developing this engine internally for years. They have direct communication between chassis and engine departments. Meanwhile, McLaren, they're a customer team running Mercedes power. So naturally, everyone's asking, is McLaren at a disadvantage? Piastri's response? Absolutely not. He says, "We have a very close relationship with Mercedes HPP, which is very beneficial for us." He even said that their early testing problems in Barcelona had nothing to do with being a customer team. But here's what really mattered. Mercedes absolutely crushed it at the Barcelona shakedown. They were the only manufacturer to complete over 1,000 laps. They ran flawlessly, over 150 laps every single day. That's not just impressive, that's dominant. And guess what? McLaren is running that same power unit. Now, Here's something insane that Lando Norris just revealed that's going to blow your minds. The way drivers approach qualifying laps has completely changed. Norris explained that drivers can no longer go flat out for an entire qualifying lap anymore. Battery management is now so critical that they have to lift in corners that used to be flat out. Imagine this. You're starting your qualifying lap. You're mentally preparing to push to the absolute limit. And then you have to save battery on the final corner. You cross the finish line and lift again. As Norris said, that's certainly not how you normally think about starting a qualifying lap, but that's simply the challenge we have. This is a completely different Formula One, folks. Corners that were easy last year, like Turn 9, Turn 3, and the final corner in Barcelona, now require braking. The cars demand more physical effort, more control, and a completely different tactical approach. And here's where strategy becomes crucial. Tire management now affects way more sections of the track. Fresh tires will give you gains in places that weren't even grip limited last year. This means more strategic variety, more pit stop drama, and potentially more overtaking. Norris himself admitted, "There are many things we still need to figure out and learn. Strategies, pit stops, all those things, the tires. It's still one of the biggest areas. Translation? Nobody has this figured out yet. The team that cracks the code first could absolutely dominate the early races of 2026. So here's what we're looking at. Oscar Piastri, motivated by pain and armed with invaluable experience. Lando Norris, the reigning world champion with momentum on his side. A technical revolution that leveled the playing field, and a driving style that's forcing everyone to adapt or die. The 2026 season is shaping up to be one of the most unpredictable championships in Formula One history. So now I'm asking you, after everything you just heard, the collapse, the comeback narrative, the technical changes, do you think Oscar Piastri will finally claim his world championship in 2026? Or is Lando Norris about to prove he's the undisputed #1 at McLaren? Drop your honest prediction in the comments, because this debate is about to set the F1 world on fire.